Hello. So it's two IMAX movies in a row.
Yeah, I could sit in the second most comfortable movie theater seat in Springfield.
That's true. Yeah, it wasn't. we just get a bunch of drinks to go see this movie.
Bring in a flask like what Irving did for Smurfs.
Yeah. I remember he did that quite a. Like, there was that and that second Journey to the Center of the Earth movie. Like I think he got ripped before that one.
Did he really?
Yeah, the one with Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. We just got out of Incredibles 2, and it's it's been what?
Is it 14 years?
14 years since the first movie, and it's probably been that long since I've seen the first movie.
I've seen it since then because that's I bought it on DVD when it came out because I liked it that much.
No, I really did enjoy the first one. It's just one of those movies where that happens a lot with me with movies kind of made after a certain point where it's like I don't get a chance to rewatch a lot of them no matter how much I like them, and I did really enjoy the first movie, but it been so long that I've seen it that I forgot it was like in the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, right, okay. Man, it has been a while.
It's very mid-century modern styling.
It was 14 years ago that the first movie came out, so it was primarily adults in the theater. Were there
were a couple kids.
Were
They
there?
were very well behaved.
So much so I didn't notice they were there.
You can hear them laughing sometimes.
Oh, okay. No, that was me. I'm trying out a new laugh.
How's it working out for you so far?
It's kind of embarrassing.
No, you gotta own that shit.
I gotta own my childish laugh. Did you like this better than the first movie?
No.
Okay, because it's been so long since I've seen the first movie, but my takeaway with this one is like, yeah, I don't think I liked this one as much as the first movie, as much as I did enjoy this movie.
Yeah, this movie was really good. It wasn't as emotionally driven as the first one was.
No.
And I felt like it was a little more derivative almost. I've never seen Mr. Mom, but I mean, how Mr. Mommy was this movie?
The superhero part was exactly like this.
Well, it had Frozone in it, and an interesting Mr. Mom side character cameo.
I mean, Mr. Mom did have some science fiction in there. Remember when the vacuum cleaner came to life and was chasing them?
Make it all the way through, Mr. Mom.
Oh, right. Okay, I forgot about that.
I was because I started watching it on your recommendation, but it was getting on my nerves how like whiny and bitchy Michael Keaton was being about the whole situation, and that was kind of an issue I had with this movie as well, because like at the very beginning he was just like gritting his teeth, and I think they were trying to do it for comedic effect, but it was just like, buckle down, pal.
Sure, but I mean, for the story and the arc that character, it's same with Michael Keaton. I'm so glad you mentioned Mr. Mom, because I was thinking that throughout like a majority of this movie. I was like, it got to a point where I just sort of started watching Mr. Mom in my head, really. Yes. I fucking love that movie. But like, I mean, I get it from the arc that this character's got to take it, and same with Michael Keaton in the other
he's got to be a
movie.
little bit of a brat at the beginning, but he was like a lot of bit of a brat.
But it's Michael Keaton.
Both in that and also in this.
It'd been funny if it'd have been even the camera's really tired. It'd have been funny if your reason for stopping watching Mr. Mom was exactly the same as Encino Man, where you're like, I just don't like Michael Keaton's hair.
With that haircut.
I just don't like Michael Keaton's hair in this movie, really. I gotta
Michael Keaton's hair always looks fantastic. It's the same goddamn hairstyle.
And Beetlejuice.
Except for Beetlejuice.
No, they're doing that in this movie, where the movie, it starts out where superheroes are kind of, they're not like literally underground, but it's illegal to be a superhero. They can't go out and do their superhero shit in the movie, so they kind of got to do things just in secret and sort of be in hiding. And it's Bob Odenkirk is this what would you call him in this movie?
Like a tycoon, like some sort of billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really go too much into what he made his money on, but it's like tech stuff.
But he's got flashy 60s suits.
Yeah, it's like him and his sister, like a team, like their parents died way back when, and so they've kind of like, built up an empire, and they're trying to, bring superheroes back out of the shadows. So, because Bob Odenkirk's dad was like super big into superheroes, and so he's trying to kind of carry out his legacy. And so they kind of touch on Elastigirl, and they say,
Yeah.
you know, you'd be a good face for, you know, trying to bring superheroes back. So let's, you know, put you out in the field, have you save a couple kids, you know, smile for the camera, and then, you know, we'll put a better spin on the whole superhero thing. And so she's got to kind of go out into the field, and her husband's got to stay home with the kids.
Yeah, that's where Mr. Mom comes in.
Yeah, like it keeps cutting between her like saving trains and stuff to him like learning how to do the new math and figuring out how to deal with Jack, which I thought they figured out that he had powers at the end of the first one. Because like he falls out of a plane,
right?
And she like boosts up to catch him, and I thought he was still a monster at that point, but maybe not. And I mean, they talked to the babysitter, Carrie, and I feel like Carrie would have filled them in, but I guess that
unless
whatever.
her mind got wiped.
Yeah, well, they know about that though. Whatever. It's a kids movie. Whatever.
I don't remember that. Like that I don't remember. But a lot of stuff with Craig T. Nelson, like I really enjoyed in this. Like I did.
Yeah, once he buckled the fuck down, he was, those parts were great.
I mean, it's doing the thing. I mean, it's like, again, I mean, this probably won't be the last time this movie gets brought up, but like in Mr. Mom, where like it starts out like, oh, well, all right, well, I can just stay home. Like, fucking anyone can do this, right? And like, whereas like Michael Keaton, like, yeah, there's all the slapstick and stuff with the washing machine, the vacuum cleaner. In this, it's more he's just sort of progressively getting more and more and more burnt out as it's going along. Whereas like it was so great if it like. Oh, he didn't make it this far in the movie, but in Mr. Mom, like he has his own like group of like other like housewives, and they all call each other on the phone and talk about soap operas, and like they're playing poker, they go to a male strip club at some point. In my head, like I was just picturing like, what if that happens here? Like what if Craig T. Nelson just gets really into like General Hospital or something, and then has a dream sequence where it turns into a soap opera.
Well, I like that this movie wasn't like, he brought it up once, but it wasn't really focused on like the gender roles of it, and more so that, you know, he wanted to be out in the field and she was getting to, and I think he was more jealous in that than more than thinking like that it's man work, you know.
Yeah, like it, because he like misses the action in it. He misses actually like getting out there and doing something, and instead, you know, he's home on like zero sleep and trying to figure out math and everything, and he just gets more and more disheveled as this movie goes along. Meanwhile, everything with Elastigirl in it has to do with the villain of the movie. It's the screenslaver who has taken over, like, who can take over screens and basically hypnotize people with them and get them to do pretty much whatever they want. It turns them into zombies, essentially. And it's a predictable movie. Yeah. Like
there's a turn, and it's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I saw that coming as soon as, like, yeah, it is. Like, it's one of those flicks where, like, you can, in terms of the action plot and everything, with the villain and everything with Elastigirl, I was like, I see where everything is going here, and I sort of waiting for those acts to happen. And every act that I thought was going to happen really, really did. Yeah. To the point to where I was like, it's the big action scene at the end, and it's certainly very good looking. There's a lot of explosions, everything going on. It's well made, incredibly well animated, and it's beautiful. But I was like, I can kind of wrap this up about any time, really. Like, maybe I was just, because there's just been so many superhero movies lately, to where all of that stuff, I was like, yeah, okay, this is good. This is a good superhero movie, certainly. There are some fantastic action sequences in this.
When Jack's fighting that raccoon.
Oh, yeah, because that part of the movie I like better than, like, all the stuff with Elastigirl. But she had that great action sequence. Yeah,
that was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was really cool, and really, it's the best action scene in the movie.
And I like that too. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, where she's on the motorcycle and it actually splits in half, and like,
she shows that it's like meant to do that, to kind of like use her powers. But I like that it was like technically phenomenal and really fun to watch. But it also kind of, I think, showcased how competent that she is as a superhero, even being out of practice as she was, because she was just like flipping that shit around and like you using her instincts to sort of guide her towards a solution.
Yeah, because she is really kind of, for a majority of the movie, is handling a lot of the action on her own to the point where she does solve what the turn is later on. I mean, after the audience did. But no, that stuff, that particular action sequence was cool. It probably would look amazing in 3D, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
We saw it in 2D, but I was more interested in the other stuff that was going on. Like, I did really enjoy the plot line where they're discovering not only that Jack has powers, but he has like 1 million of them. And they're all going off like one after the other. It made it very unpredictable. Like, it made it unpredictable about what the hell is this kid gonna do next, and it just makes Craig T. Nelson more and more burnt out as this goes along. One of his powers is that he can fucking multiply into about 7 babies, and that's got to be the most horrifying thing on the planet.
I feel like the worst is the invisible and then phasing through walls thing.
Yeah,
just kinda like,
fuck.
Cookie.
Yeah.
But like the like the Elastigirl parts, I didn't enjoy as much as the dad parts, only because on her end, I was just like waiting for her to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
And I was getting a little stressed out. But I think on a second viewing, I'd enjoy them equally, because I do like that it was their 2 arcs happening simultaneously.
No,
it was,
yeah.
like focusing on one more than the other.
Certainly, and you can kind of see where it's gonna go in terms of how these 2 arcs are gonna come together, like when it kind of briefly turns into Spy Kids.
Yeah, that was okay though.
Sure, I mean, yeah, that's kind of towards the last act of the movie, or it is in the last act of the movie. But the movie it's entertaining. It's a gorgeous film to look at. I mean, the animation is beautiful.
That baby was so cute.
Yeah, that baby was one of the best parts about the movie.
Like, I was worried he was gonna be annoying, because sometimes
Right.
like an animated baby can be pretty fucking annoying, but that baby was goddamn adorable.
Yeah.
And they're like, there was a point where like the 3 kids have to kind of try to figure out how to save the day, and it was a little trite, but
Sure.
I thought that they pulled it off pretty well. I think my main complaint about it is that they made a sort of a weird decision to sort of over animate everyone's facial expressions. Like, there was a couple times where Bob Odenkirk's character was talking, and it reminded me of nothing so much as, do you remember Monsters vs. Aliens?
I don't think I saw that.
Well, Stephen Colbert plays the president in that movie, and he's like Stephen Colberting the shit out of the role. So he's just kind of like flailing all over the place, and every facial expression he makes is like weirdly huge. And they only did it with that one character.
Yeah.
So it was, it was more played as a gag. This, I felt like they did that with all the characters, and so like there was a point where Bob and Helen were sitting in bed, kind of, talking over what their next move's going to be as a team, and I kept coming out of it because they were just over-emoting at each other.
Yeah.
Not their voices, but their faces.
I kind of noticed that a little bit too. A little bit. The reason it wasn't taking me out of it is because my bar on that is the villain from Norm of the North, which was Ken Jeong, I think.
Oh, no.
So just picture that with this needlessly spastic animation just going all over the fucking screen for like no goddamn reason, like whatsoever. So like, I was kind of noticing that a little bit in the movie, but I would quickly go back into it. Just honestly, for one of those instances where it's like, okay, I've seen this done much worse.
Yeah, that's
this
fair.
is fine. And honestly, I couldn't remember if that was the same in the original.
That's the thing, it wasn't. Because like, that's one of the things I like about the first one so much, is that they seem like real people, just real people who are superheroes. And there's like all sorts of like little subtle moments. Like, there's one point where like Helen's got her super suit on, and she like they're going to go save Bob, and she like catches the reflection of her butt in like the glass on the door, and she kind of like looks, and then she keeps going. And there weren't really any like subtle moments like that in this movie.
This movie seems more slapsticky, certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, but which I get, because it has a lot to do with that baby who's like just farting 50 feet up into the air, and poor Craig T. Nelson's got to go out there and catch the sucker. There's that fight with the raccoon, which was I was sitting there, I'm like, come on, raccoon, you can...
Why don't you just run? Just run away.
Yeah, you got this, raccoon, come on. He just wants some chicken out of the garbage. And that was funny, because that whole thing spawns from the baby watching like a 50s like gangster movie where there's a thief on there who's got the mask like the raccoon, and he thinks the raccoon. They do a lot of really clever stuff with the baby in this movie. Like, I mean, like, yeah, his powers are very unpredictable as the movie is going along, but he does come in handy throughout the film. I mean, certainly in the laugh department, but also, like, I mean, animation-wise, like, there is constantly...
They spent a lot of time on that baby. You can tell.
Yeah, they did. And it was impressive. It was funny. It was the funniest part of the movie.
Like, knowing a baby personally as I do, I think he was pretty realistic in terms of, like, the flailing and, like, the little faces he kept making. Those were a little subtle.
That was another thing I was thinking about in this movie, where the baby, he's like, going into walls, he's going through glass, he's disappearing, he's turning into, like, a demon, and Craig T. Nelson is running around, like, trying to catch him. And I remember sitting there in the theater going, like, what if this was Dave?
I told Dave I was seeing this movie. He's like, why am I not seeing this movie? Not that he was jealous, but it seems like the sort of thing that would speak to him.
Maybe Dave and I could do like a retro midnight screenings on Mr. Mom.
My God, yes.
I think he likes it. I think Dave, I think he does. I don't know.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes
it's surprising me about the stuff that he does not like.
Like, yeah, same here. Every now and then I'm like, really? That seems like it'd be up your alley. Oh, okay.
Whatever.
He's
fastidious.
Which ones are you thinking of? Because I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm so tired. But, like, you think of an example off the top of your head for, like, one where, like, you thought, like, oh, Dave, do you like this one? He's like, fuck no. And you're like, really? I know, right? But there's some. Oh, I can think of one.
Usually it's, I'm like, isn't this pretty wallpaper? He's like, bleh.
It's about wallpaper. It's definitely like this with restaurants.
Yes. Well, for Dave, it's fine. That's like a glowing fucking review.
If Dave says a restaurant is fine, that means it's a 5-star restaurant. If Dave says it's 5 stars, it's the best fucking food you've ever had. I remember I was surprised when he didn't like Scarface. Because I could have swore he did at one point.
Still likes Reservoir Dogs. I don't want to start comparing stuff and getting in trouble. But
The Reservoir Dogs is his favorite
movie. For me, those
movie.
seem like they're on, like, I wouldn't say they're the same movie, but they seem on the same echelon.
Like, if you like one, you might like another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fucking love Scarface, by the way. No, I had fun at this. I mean, yeah, the superhero stuff was kind of like, I don't know if I'm just kind of burnt out on this right now, because there's just so many of them out there right now, and the ones that are out there right now are, like, really, really, really fucking good. And this one, in the superhero aspect, yeah, it's fine. It's perfectly serviceable. I don't know if I would personally feel the need to, like, rush out and go see this movie, but it's good. The stuff in it that I liked more was the plot with Craig T. Nelson, because that, again, separated itself from just a lot of different superhero movies that I've seen recently. But, no, it's a perfectly fine movie. Like, it's not bad at all. It's fun. It's an entertaining flick. I didn't love it. I didn't love it.
It's definitely worth going to see. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth seeing.
Sure, yeah.
And especially, too, it's like, if you really love the first one, it's fun to see all the characters again. And see, like, what they're doing with their lives now.
Man, because that would have been something if this movie came out 14 years later. It was fucking terrible.
Wah, wah.
Or it's a prequel film, Superhero University.
No. It's like Muppet Babies, but with, like, Baby Frozone.
Hell yeah, Muppet Babies. I think they're redoing Muppet Babies. Or like, there were like 2 like superhero academy movies that like came out at the same time. There was like
Sky High
with Kurt Russell.
Sky High was actually really good.
No, I remember that one being pretty good. And then there was, like, the bad one that was called Zoom with Tim Allen.
Oh, I wouldn't watch a Tim Allen movie with 10-foot eyeballs.
You didn't like Galaxy Quest?
Oh, okay. Well, I watched Galaxy Quest, but that is not a Tim Allen movie.
He's the star.
That's an everybody else movie. But Tim Allen is also there.
I like him in that movie.
See, that's Alan Rickman. It's fantastic.
Tony Shalhoub.
Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
And Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah. And Rainn Wilson in there as one of the villains. That is a good movie.
It's a really good movie.
No, this...
Go see Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, watch Galaxy Quest.
Apparently, because one of the little alien guys, I can't remember the actor's name, but he was on Just Shoot Me. He always wore the backwards hat.
Me?
Yeah, you want to Just Shoot Me? No, but if you know who I'm talking about, the photographer guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, the way he figured out how to make the aliens walk so weird is that he moves his arms opposite how you'd normally walk. So when your foot goes forward, your arm goes forward instead of going back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's not...
That was my fun... my fun Galaxy Quest anecdote.
Love any person who can just throw out random Galaxy Quest trivia. Now I'm just thinking about like if it was like CGI legs like they're doing with Jeremy Renner's arms and in Tag.
I really hope that doesn't ruin the movie, because like I heard that, it was like, oh no.
Even if it looks great, I'm like, did you have to put this news out now? Now I'm gonna be looking for it.
Just wait. Like, can't you just wait?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like now I'm gonna be looking for this shit as I'm watching. It's like Superman's lip. And like I wouldn't have noticed that if they didn't point it out beforehand.
Although, counterpoint, if I was the guy who animated Jeremy Renner's arms, I'd be telling everybody.
Yeah.
You see those arms? I did that shit.
Me too. Should we do trailers?
Previews.
Every trailer we got in front of this was a pet movie.
Yeah, well, we got AXL, which I thought was going to be a freaking Transformers movie. We'll talk about that here in a second. But it's like a guy finds like a robot dog, and it's basically Short Circuit if Johnny Five was a robot dog.
No, it's less Short Circuit, and it's Dave and I got this in front of Show Dogs.
Was it Show Dogs? But if the Show Dogs are robots?
No, it's Monster Trucks.
Oh, I remember Monster Trucks.
It is Monster Trucks. If they were like, yeah, but what if it were a dog?
That dog was pretty cute though. He was like using it as a motorcycle ramp.
It looks exactly like Monster Trucks. And I'm like, all right, well, saddle up for this one.
Oh, because it had the guy that kept cutting to like, no, that's my dog. And that was reminding me of Chappie. Never having seen Chappie, but I saw the preview, and the preview guy kept going like, no, it's my Chappie. Chappie back.
Chappie is kind of awesome, because it's like that kind of movie, but it's a hard R. Like, man, that robot just like throws Hugh Jackman through windows at the end going, you motherfucker! Like, I love that fucking movie.
Okay, well, glowing review for Chappie.
Yeah, you gotta check that out. That movie was pretty good.
So that's our review of the Axel review.
Axel.
Bumblebee? So I guess this is like a preview, right?
A prequel?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It was definitely a preview. I'm so tired.
Me too. It takes place in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Because at first I thought it was going to be like a Herbie the Love Bug movie. Because they're like...
It kind of looks like it. Actually, I think it looks pretty good.
It does look good.
Yeah.
There was like a weird romantic undertone between Bumblebee and that girl. Like, is he going to fuck that girl?
Somebody's a fan of Shape of Water. Like...
What if the fish was a robot?
Yeah. No, it's not like Michael Bay doing this. It's the guy who...
well, that's a comfort.
Yeah, it's the guy who did Kubo and the Two Strings.
Ooh!
So it's got like a really good team behind it. Like, I'm 6 times a charm, I guess, on these Transformers movies.
Because I loved Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah, I really dug that movie, and I really do want to see that. That looks like a Transformers movie that might actually be pretty good.
You know, I'm just a second. Incredibles 2 never made me cry.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, like, surprising for a Pixar
movie. I guess
we were standing outside talking, and I mentioned that Incredibles 1 made me cry a couple times, and I was like, really? When?
Well, well, I mean, they really kind of tripled down on the crying in Coco, so maybe they thought,
like, used up all our tears in Coco.
Yeah.
I gotta think too hard about Coco, I start crying.
Yeah, so it's like, maybe we need to give them, like, a break on the crying. The
Grinch?
That was a new trailer for that.
It was a new trailer. I I hate to say it seems like he's being too nice to that dog, but it seems like he's being too nice to that dog. Because isn't that a whole bit where it's like he's got this dog that loves him to bits, and he's like just kind of kicking him down the hill and shit?
Yeah, I mean,
it's more like he's sitting and playing chess with him, and yeah, he cheats, but he's still playing chess with him.
Yeah, he's still playing games with the dog and everything. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's an Illumination movie, so it'll probably at best be adequate. Like, so, I don't know. Like,
it seems like less the Grinch and more like the sourpuss brother-in-law from Saving Christmas, where just like not so much evil, it's just fed up with the commercialism of it all.
So the whole movie's the Grinch in a car.
Yeah, just like moping in the driveway.
Talking to Idiot Who for like 70 minutes.
And then there's a breakdancing party.
Okay, now that I want to see. If they go that fucking direction with the Grinch, I'll be like, all right, that's something different.
Sure, why not? Ralph breaks the internet.
That looks like trash.
That does not look great.
Like, I didn't love the first one. Like, I
haven't even saw the first one.
The first one I thought was like fine. This one though, it looks like the better version of the Emoji Movie. But still looks bad. It looks like an entire movie made up of Disney going, look at all the shit we own.
Yeah, because she's like getting chased by stormtroopers, and at one point she like goes into a room that's just wall-to-wall Disney princesses.
Yeah.
And like, I love Tangled, so seeing Rapunzel show up, I'm like, yeah. And I'm sure that's what they're going for. But it didn't really seem like they were doing much with it. Just like, hey, look, check this shit out.
Yeah, they're trying to like redo what they were doing in the first one with the video game characters having cameos, but in this one it's everything Disney owns. Like in the Internet City, you see like one building of like Marvel, one building of Star Wars.
And so up its own ass about it too, because she goes to like the Informabot and she's like, give me the most awesome, intense thing you could possibly give me. And he's like, you want World of Disney.
I'm like, wow, man, just it's not even clever. Like, and then like at the end when the girl is saying to him like, Ralph breaks the internet, and he's like, shouldn't it be Ralph wrecks the internet?
Yeah,
and I'm
breaks the internet, like that thing. And then what they don't say is where Kim Kardashian's butt was purported to break the internet.
Fuck. And I was in there going like, yeah, Ralph's right. Ralph Wrecks the Internet is a much better fucking title than this movie.
Was that called lampshading?
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Like, that movie looks bad. Fuck. Like, I mean, like, okay, like, if the only compliment I can give is that it looks better than the Emoji Movie, then what the fuck? Not looking forward to that.
How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World.
That looks good.
That's going to break my heart, is what that movie's going to do. Because the first one broke my heart. The second one was fine. This one looks like it's... yeah, this one, it doesn't... Because they called it a conclusion in the thing, too. And that, like, I think they're going to kill some people off.
Yeah, probably. They did in the second one as well. I just like that he's a big cat.
He's a big cat.
He's a big cat, and like Laura and I watched the trailer last night, so we were then picturing Lloyd with wings, but still just like his doing arms like dangling down.
Doing like the mating dance.
Not even that, just like he's got wings, but he's still like if you were to pick him up, and like his legs are still just like dangling down like that. Don't worry, Lloyd, you're a dragon. No, that looks cute.
We got Alpha again.
A new trailer.
Up and I'm like, oh fuck, that hasn't come out yet?
That trailer has like direct-to-video trailer narration going on.
Did not have that narration the last 3 times we watched that trailer.
When we first saw the trailer, like a fucking year ago.
Yeah, we saw that shit in front of Jumanji.
Yeah, that was December.
One of the 3 first.
Yeah.
It was like that, Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit.
Hotel
and-
Transylvania 3,
yeah.
which also still hasn't come out.
Yeah, that comes out like next month, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Alpha, and that wasn't even the first time I saw the trailer for Alpha, like in front of Jumanji. Like it got like heavily pushed back a couple of times. Like when we were seeing trailers for it, then it was supposed to come out, I think, sometime in the spring, maybe.
Yeah.
But it got that. That's why it's been so long since we got a trailer for it, and they put this narration on this trailer.
When a man loves a wolf,
Whoa.
changes the course of human history.
That movie, I don't think it's gonna be good.
No, probably not. And the narration made it feel very like 90s.
Yeah, like it did. It's
And then he dances with the wolves, starring Kevin Costner.
I wish that was how that trailer went.
Psych, we got you. It's just dances with wolves again. That's what that movie was about, right? Kevin Costner just dances with a bunch of wolves.
For 3 hours. That halfway through, the wolf just attacks him. It was like direct-to-video Disney sequel narration on that trailer. Damn.
So next I have written some Panda Thing, because I had to go to the bathroom. I just wrote it down as I was running out the door, but it seemed like it was just going to be some pandas.
Yeah, it's one of those like Disney nature documentaries, and it's about it. It looks cute. I've not seen any of those. I mean, I hear they're good, and it looked cute.
I can just watch pandas on YouTube, you know.
I mean, it's like an IMAX original, so I'm sure it's probably pretty beautiful to look at. But I never get around to.
Goddamn magnificent.
Yes, it's all a prequel to that panda getting stolen in Show Dogs.
Because we joked about when that monkey one came out, sending people to go see the monkey one, but we never did.
No, because I always forget about them. They always come out. I mean, a lot of them do come here, but they always come out like when there's like 5 other movies coming out. Which is probably going to be the case with the panda one, yeah. They're all supposed to be pretty good. I've just not seen any of them.
This one was narrated by Kirsten Bell, because I got back into the theater just as they were telling us so.
Yeah.
She went, "Hey, that's me."
Kirsten Bell, that's me. I'm like, what a weird riff at the end of this trailer.
And then I didn't write it down, but I remember we had Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh yeah, and that was like the second trailer for that, I think. Yeah, that comes out here in a few weeks.
Cause that's the one that, like, the poster, like, the Manbabies are really upset about it because she's in the front.
What?
I don't. It's like it was on Twitter where because most of it that I saw was people making fun of the Manbabies, but it was like, oh, this is the future. Men are women and women are men, because she's like in the front and he's like in the back with like his arms crossed. It's like, it's probably because you can see your boobs, dude.
How much of a loser do you have to fucking be? Jesus fucking Christ.
Whatever.
Fuck me. Change your goddamn diapers. For the love of Christ, ask your mom. She's right upstairs.
Yeah, you got him. But I don't know. I think it looks cute. I enjoyed the relationship between those two in the first movie.
Yeah.
Where she was like kind of competent and he wasn't.
I like the
not
first
in like
movie.
Not like a doofusy husband way, more in like a she's showing him the ropes sort of way. And they make a good team by the end.
It looks fun. It looks like they're doing a lot of different clever things, even more so than the first one, with growing shit like the Pez dispenser and like the salt shaker,
that was
all
really
that.
cool.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing a lot of that here. So yeah, no, that looks fun.
And the villain is that ghost character.
Ghost, yeah.
And I thought that like I hadn't seen her in action yet, and this preview had a bunch of her, and she was just phasing through cars and grabbing shit as she was going. I thought that was really cool looking.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think I'll do a snob episode on the Wasp woman before that comes out.
Sweet tie-in.
Yeah, 50s. Oh god, for this movie, I had to watch this fucking movie called The Illusionauts.
I saw you tweeted that, and I was trying to figure out, because you said it was a mockbuster. What was it a mockbuster of?
God, pick a movie. Like I don't.
Now you see me.
It's like Fantastic Four, Power Pack. Incredible, a lot of different things.
It's like a team of superheroes do a thing.
Yeah, and they're kids, and they fart all the time, all the goddamn time.
God.
It's a Peruvian movie. I was watching it in like an American dub, and like one of the there's this fucking subplot of the movie about the kid's drunk uncle whose name is Uncle Cognac.
Okay.
And,
So like the goose from the Aristocats.
yeah, and so fucking Uncle Cognac at the end of this goddamn movie is standing there when the octopus is destroying the city, and it's at this moment where the kid is like, "Uncle, you need to stop drinking," and he's like, "I'm sorry, kid, but when your parents died, I had to hide my feelings in liquor." And then when it's doing the character wrap up at the end, it says like Uncle Cognac has joined AA.
Oh, good.
I had to watch this movie on a Greyhound bus. It seemed appropriate.
So I love the movie Trolls, but Sophie's been watching the TV show they have on Netflix.
Oh, there's a show now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How's that?
It's what you'd expect it to be.
Yeah.
But it made me think of it because Guy Diamond in it, like, farting is literally all he does in this goddamn cartoon, and it's starting to really creep me out, because it's like, why is this TV show so obsessed with the butt of this little troll creature?
Yeah.
Because, like, in the movie, you know, he, like, farts glitter a couple times, and, like, there's one point, I think he, like, stops the roller skate with his butt, and, like, it makes it all shiny like chrome. Like, this movie, like, takes the whole butt thing and runs with it. Like, he might as well just be, like, a talking butt on legs.
That is exactly the fucking movie I watched last week.
Okay, so the illusion out to say Trolls, the beat goes on.
Here we go again.
Yeah. No, the beat goes on is the actual name of the cartoon on Netflix.
Oh, that's actually what it's called?
Yeah.
I thought you were just making up a silly subtitle for it.
Nope.
Like, were you listening to your Sonny and Cher albums earlier? Were there any other trailers?
Nope. That's it.
All right, that's it, everyone. I've got Tag and also Superfly at some point, so see you later.
Bye.